So this insecurity isn't something that people like notice about me physically or anything, but once you get to know me more, it's kind of obvious. Yo, what's going on, you guys? You already know my name is Strozier. You read the title, saw the thumbnail, so I might as well just go ahead and spill the tea. My biggest insecurity is the fact that I don't use profanity. Now, I know most people's insecurities are dealing with their financial situation, relational, educational, or any other status, but mine is my choice of words. I highly doubt that anyone is now seeing the big deal with this, but I'm already kind of embarrassed, so I might as well just get into it so you can see the bigger picture. Why I don't cuss and why I think it's bad. Now, I grew up in a Christian home. I still am a Christian. I was homeschooled, so that pretty much self-explains my origin story. I basically went my entire life without cursing, and then I didn't realize how different my vocabulary was from other people until I was about 13, 14. A vast majority of the people that I knew on a daily basis used an excessive amount of profanity. And that's when I quickly realized their vocabulary is mediocre. Now, I would like to think that most people probably believe that using profane language is inappropriate in certain settings like maybe a job interview, grade school, customer service environments, interacting with children, and the list goes on. But I don't think that many people believe that the usage of profanity limits your vocabulary. Example, I was in my history class and my professor was doing a little review with us about some of the early European settlers here in North America. And he asked, was the environment of Jamestown a very good place to live? And one of the students was like, no, it was actually a very place to live. And the professor was like, well, yeah, but can you elaborate more on that other than using that specific word? And the person that answered the question was stumped because they literally did not know any other method of describing how Jamestown was other than using that profane word. And I see this happen in a plethora of scenarios. A lot of times people use profanity as filler words or they use it in a negative manner only. Man, I was in my class, man, and shit, man, the teacher's not even teaching us anything. Like, I mean, she's teaching this shit that's just like, I'm not ever gonna use it cause like, shit, man, you see what I mean, right? There are literally thousands of other words that you can use other than just those 4-letter words. Instead of saying that your boss is an eggplant head, you can say that, oh, my boss is not being very considerate in my family situation. Instead of saying, oh, I work at this shitty job, you can say, oh, this job is mentally draining. Instead of just saying, oh, my ex was an a-hole, you could probably say, my ex was a very toxic individual due to their unresolved childhood trauma. Instead of saying, Jay Strozier is so effing cute, you could probably say, well, I probably wouldn't mind if anyone said that, but you get the point. Sometimes it's better not to say anything at all or to rephrase your sentence to better communicate how you are feeling. I'm really not trying to be arrogant when I say this, but anytime I meet people, they always say, Jay, you're so smart. Like the way you talk, I don't hear a lot of people talk like that. Like, you really make me think. And I guarantee you that is due to my refusal to use profanity and willingness to have a broader vocabulary, even though sometimes people make fun of me for not cursing or they are shocked by the fact that I don't curse.
I highly doubt that Jay never swears at all.
Well, you're right. I say nigga all the time. Now, I only say it around certain groups of black people and at home, but given the context of this video, it is hypocritical of me, which perfectly leads me to my next insecurity. I don't listen to explicit music. Now, hip hop isn't my absolute favorite genre of music because it is the most diverse genre of music due to it being influenced by all genres and now influencing all genres. But typically, hip hop is the absolute most explicit genre of music. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking, how in the world did the Christian homeschooled Negro become a hip hop head? Well, quite simple answer, Christian hip hop. Okay, before I continue, I want to hit 30 likes on the video, so go ahead and like the video now. Okay, now that you've done that, also subscribe because 83.1% of you guys are not subscribed. Now, when I was younger, I primarily listened to artists that were Christian, whether they was hip hop or not. But as I got older, I did end up branching out. But even then, when I did listen to non-Christian artists, I was listening to the censored versions voluntarily. Why did I choose to do that? Well, due to the amount of music that I listen to, I know for a fact that listening to a lot of explicit music will negatively taint not only my vocabulary, but the way that I think. So probably around 2% of the music that I listen to isn't censored, but I only listen to censored music to a certain extent. I don't mind listening to music that is violent, such as like gangster rap, drill rap, or just straight up coke rap from my guys like Benny the Butcher and Pusha T, but I absolutely cannot stomach lustful music. Ariana Grande, great singer, great writer, but that Positions album, I mean, it's called Positions for a reason. And the same thing goes for a lot of hip hop artists I listen to. If you're gonna sell drugs, shoot up the ops, and floss those diamonds, I am really not interested in the grave details of your sexual endeavors. And for those of you that think I'm probably being ridiculous, I highly encourage you to really sit and listen to what an artist talks about and what an artist glorifies. Because no matter what your religious and spiritual beliefs are, the music you listen to greatly affects your spirit, energy, vibe, aura, whatever you want to call it. And when you look at the grand scheme of things, most music is not doing much to edify your spirit. Because let's face it, music is very influential and it does change the way you view things and sometimes behave. And I am constantly checking myself on the music that I listen to, because though I'm not listening to sex music, I find myself sitting back and saying, I'm listening to a 4-minute song about murdering people. Now, because of my musical convictions, I do primarily listen to artists that are Christians, and even though they're not always explicitly just talking about like Jesus or the Bible, our moral values do tend to line up, so I can kind of stomach the music a little better. And I'm not sure if any of you guys noticed, but a lot of times you might not know any of the songs that I put at the end of my videos in the end screen. And those artists are typically artists that are Christians, and I just think that their music is underrated and should deserve some more attention. So in closing, I say this: if you are the type of individual that wants to break the habit of you using a lot of profanity, I would be very conscious of the things that I listen to musical wise and the things that I watch for entertainment. There's this really cool quote that I like, and it says, "People cause all kind of things to do what they want them to do. They have done this with animals, birds, fish, and snakes, but no one can rule the tongue. It says bad things, and it is like a poison that causes death," which goes to show you that the things that you say and the things that other people say have great effect. And for all my people out there that have a lot of gripes with Christianity but liked that quote, it's not a random quote. It's actually in the New Testament. Sucker. So anyway, there you have it. My biggest insecurity is that my verbal and musical convictions are not very popular, but I am that way because I know the great effect of the tongue and the things that you listen to. All right, y'all, this video is finally coming to an end. Comment down below, what do you think of this? Or send me a message on Instagram or Snapchat. Do you think that I'm being overly sensitive with words, or do you think that possibly maybe you've kind of undermined the power of words? I always enjoy talking to people about their opinions on my videos just to get new perspectives. So anyway, like and subscribe, and as always, remember to stay productive and don't act stupid.